Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. Yet more Vosne Romane today. I'm on a Vosne Romanol. Doesn't really work, does it? I'm on a roll with the Vosne Romanes. Just seems to be what was available and looked appealing at this moment in time. This I bought from the wine and beer and spirits shop attached to Harveys Brewery when I was down in Lewes making a pub video the other day. This is Drouhin, Joseph Drouhin, very well known, very well respected Burgundy producer, and it's a 2017 vintage. What are we getting on the nose to begin with? It's one of those cherry noses, but possibly going a little bit Kirshy. Find that quite often. So this is just under 7 years since these grapes have come off the vine. Most people probably wouldn't consider this to be an old Burgundy, but it's not brand new either. It's perhaps heading into middle age, I don't know. Something subtly perfumey in amongst that Kirshy cherry. Relatively subtle nose, I would say. Perhaps a little bit of a floral hint there, but it's subtle. Lovely weight and mouthfeel. Very smooth, very silky, very, very fine-grained tannins there. They're definitely present. I get a little bit of a tannic, peppery kick towards the end. Some tertiary aromas. Gentle, mushroomy hint there, I think. And that sort of follows through to a slight savouriness on the palate. Again, the fruit character is definitely there, but it's relatively subtle and delicate. It's certainly not like the previous two Vosne Romanés that I had, and perhaps at least one of those was a couple of years younger, so that was a much more fruit forward still. This is already starting to head into that tertiary aroma sort of range. Perhaps I shouldn't rush to any conclusions. I have a feeling this is maybe something that will develop in the glass a bit. First impressions, I would say a tiny bit muted. Not as much fruit character as I'd perhaps like. This has had, I suppose, a bit of airing by virtue of being opened and walked around a bit. I think I'm getting a bit more fruit character, a bit more red berry fruit, a little bit cranberry-like there. I'm still struggling to come up with a good summary of this. It's quite French. That sounds like an absolutely absurd comment for a Burgundy, but there is this sort of running theme in quite a lot of French cuisine that it often has a sort of deliberately challenging edge. It's as though it's a sort of rite of passage, an acquired taste. Normally, Burgundy presents you with really accessible, amenable, generally pleasant, generally well-loved things like fruit and flowers that everyone will get on with. But those tertiary notes, I think, can be more of a mixed bag. I'm getting a lot of that now, a lot of that mushroomy, sous-bois, a certain amount of almost something slightly animalistic, slightly meaty there. Overall, it's kind of not exactly what I want from a Vosne Romane. I want something sort of elegant, sophisticated, and ambiguously delightful. I don't really want to have to acquire the taste of Vosne Romane. I think I already have acquired the taste of a style of Vosne Romane, and I want it to be elegant, sophisticated, floral, fruity, all those kind of things. And I'm not sure I want subtle funk and mushroomy sous-bois and all that kind of stuff. It's certainly not terrible. There is an increasingly pleasant cherry hit there, but there's at least a sort of thin layer of dirt. You have to wash off the cherries first to get to it. A little bit of a disappointment, if I'm honest, but oh well, I have had a good run of the previous couple of Vosne Romanés, and you can't win them all. Perhaps this is just at a slightly difficult age. Perhaps a year or two ago this might have been more sort of fresh and fruity, and a year or two from now it might be more refined, and it's just at a sort of difficult, I don't know, adolescent age where it's going kind of weird and spotty or something. That's an unfortunate metaphor maybe, but you get what I mean. Worst tasting notes ever. Cheers.